Hello everyone, I'm Dudok9 from the Build Like the Greats team. Today we're diving deep into one of the most influential architectural styles, Gothic architecture, and we'll also touch on its revival in the 18th and 19th centuries known as Neo-Gothicism. The Middle Ages are often remembered as a harsh and difficult period with plagues, wars, and social upheaval. Yet, for architecture, this was a time of incredible innovation. From the fall of the Roman Empire until the Renaissance, churches began to reach for God, both spiritually and physically. Builders developed new techniques to make structures taller, brighter, and more monumental than anything that had come before. Gothic architecture is not just a style, it's a combination of engineering, art, and symbolism. In this video, we'll break down its core principles, visual elements, and structural innovations and show how they can inspire Minecraft builds. Come with me to the workshop, I'll show you around. In Gothic design, proportions are everything. They guide not only the structure, but also the harmony of details. Here are some of the most common ratios. 1:2 ratio. A tall, narrow proportion often used for smaller vertical windows and decorative elements. 2:3 ratio, the most prevalent Gothic ratio, seen in windows, nave divisions and other vertical components. 3:5 ratio, a taller proportion, typical of late Gothic cathedrals and large-scale constructions. The truth is, in Minecraft builds, subtle differences only become visible at very large scales. For typical player scale projects, these ratios mainly help guide the overall sense of balance and verticality. Fun fact, many Gothic architects were also mathematicians. They used these ratios to create harmony and the sense of divine proportion. Now, let's talk about materials and palettes. Historically, Gothic buildings were constructed mainly from limestone and sandstone. Lighter stones like sandstone and sandstone give a realistic, classical look, while darker materials like deep slate or blackstone create a dramatic or fantasy-inspired atmosphere. The choice of palette influences the mood of your build. Lighter tones feel grounded and traditional, darker tones add mystery and fantasy. For Neo-Gothic or fantasy-inspired projects, darker or more contrasting palettes can make the architecture feel more theatrical, almost like it's lifted from a storybook. The cruciform plan is one of the most iconic Gothic elements. Many churches were designed in the shape of the cross, the nave forming the long section, transepts creating the arms, and the choir at the head. This layout is symbolic, representing the foundation of Christian faith, Jesus Christ, but it also organizes space efficiently. The central crossing became the focal point for vaulting, light, and decoration. Fun fact, some cathedrals like the Sainte-Chapelle in Paris are elongated without full transepts, showing how flexible Gothic plans could be. The pointed arch defines Gothic architecture. Symbolically, it reaches toward the heavens. Structurally, it channels weight vertically, reducing horizontal pressure on the walls. This allows for thinner walls and larger windows, which in turn made interiors brighter and more open. In Minecraft, start your pointed arches with a steep 45-degree angle at the top, then as you approach the center, increase the vertical segments. Larger scale arches can show more elegant curves and more intricate details. Gothic windows are masterpieces of both structure and art. The tracery is the ornamental stonework in the upper parts of windows. It often creates circles, trefoils, or complex geometric patterns. Real-life windows were filled with stained glass, telling biblical stories while bathing interiors in colorful light. In Minecraft, you can mimic this with copper grates to represent LED games, or simply use colored glass for a more stylized effect. Remember, the goal is to suggest complexity even if full detail isn't possible at smaller scales. Another defining feature is the flying buttress. Early Gothic buildings used simple buttresses attached to walls. The innovation came when these were separated and connected by arches. Here you can see how the force travels from the vault along the arch into the buttress and finally to the ground. Originally a purely structural feature, flying buttresses quickly became a defining visual feature of Gothic cathedrals. Towers are typically square, rising above the facade. Many cathedrals feature twin towers. Towers are often divided into two vertical sections. The lower part roughly matches the nave height, and the upper part is about half as tall. They often house bells. Spires are slender tapering structures added on towers or rooftops. They emphasize verticality and became more elaborate over time, sometimes doubling the height of the tower they sit on. Pinnacles, smaller spires, were placed on flying buttresses or corners to enhance the dramatic effect. Neo-Gothic revival in the 18th and 19th centuries often exaggerated spires. Neo-Gothic architecture reinterpreted medieval Gothic elements in a more decorative, romanticized way. Buildings could include exaggerated spires, intricate tracery, or fantasy-inspired proportions. In Minecraft, Neo-Gothic allows you to play with color, scale, and ornamental elements without strictly adhering to historic accuracy. So these are the essential features of Gothic architecture: ratios, pointed arches, flying buttresses, and spires. Add Neo-Gothic flair and the possibilities are endless. Now let's put these elements into practice and start building. The build is now complete. Let's take a closer look at the Gothic elements. You can see that I added two spires to each of the towers. I used pinnacles extensively to make the cathedral look more dramatic. Here you can see the windows and the pointed arches. The flying buttresses give the structure a more grandiose appearance. I chose narrower windows for the base of the towers. Let us know what you think, which parts you like the most, and which style you'd like us to cover next. I'm Dudok9 from the Build Like the Greats team. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Goodbye.